Somewhere out on the ocean right now, on a ship the length of 4 football pitches, sits a container of goods that is legally owned by a piece of paper. Not by the company that made the goods, not by the buyer waiting for them, not even by the ship, by a single document that can be posted, sold, or stolen. Stay with me, because by the end, you will see why that sheet of paper can be worth more than the ship carrying it, and you will never think about owning goods the same way again. Start with the oldest problem in trade. A seller in one country ships goods to a buyer in another, weeks away across the sea. The buyer will not pay until they know the goods are truly on their way. The seller will not release the goods until they know they will be paid. Two strangers, an ocean apart, each afraid to move first. Something has to stand in the middle. That something is a centuries-old document called a bill of lading. When the shipping company takes the goods aboard, it issues this paper, and the paper does 3 jobs at once. It is a receipt proving the goods were loaded. It is the contract for carrying them. And, most strangely of all, it is a title of ownership, a document that legally represents the goods themselves. And here is the part that sounds like magic but is deadly serious law. Whoever legally holds that piece of paper controls the cargo. The physical goods might be in the middle of the Pacific, but they can be bought and sold again and again, while still at sea, simply by passing the document from hand to hand. The paper is a stand-in for the goods so complete that owning it is owning them. Follow a shipment. The seller loads the goods and receives the bill of lading. They send that paper to their bank, and only once it is in order does the money flow to them. The paper then travels, often through banks, onto the buyer. And at the far port, only the person holding the original document can walk up and claim the physical container. No paper, no goods, no matter who you are. And this is what quietly upends our whole sense of ownership. Out at sea, ownership is not about who made the goods or who will use them. It is about who holds the right piece of paper. A single cargo can change owners 5 times before it ever touches land, purely through a document, while the steel box just sits, untouched, on a deck in the dark. Now, you would assume something this powerful is guarded like cash. It is treated as valuable, but here is the alarming flaw. Because the paper is the goods, whoever gets hold of the original can claim them. Forge or steal a bill of lading, and you can, in effect, steal an entire shipload of cargo without ever laying a finger on it. Fraud in this system is not about breaking into a warehouse. It is about controlling a document. And this single kind of document underlies almost all the goods that move across the world's oceans, which is to say, most of physical global trade. Trillions of dollars of cargo move each year, its ownership riding not on the ships, but on a paper trail running through banks and traders. The world economy quietly floats on an ocean of these documents. And because it is paper, it is slow and fragile and forgeable. A container can arrive at a port before its bill of lading does, and then sit, legally frozen, because the goods cannot be released without the document. With rules largely set in an international convention back in 1924, we have run modern trade on what is essentially a medieval piece of paper. Only now is the world haltingly trying to make it digital, and it is proving astonishingly hard. Which is the strange truth beneath the flow of goods. We imagine trade as objects moving. Underneath, it is really documents moving, and the objects only follow along behind. Ownership out on the water is not a fact about things. It is a fact about paper. So the next time you picture global trade as ships and boxes, add the missing piece, the quiet paper traveling alongside, that actually holds all the power. That is why a single sheet can be worth more than the vessel carrying it. A single piece of paper, not the ship, owns the cargo, and whoever holds it owns the goods, exactly as I promised you would come to see.